Hey there, Cheese Meisters, and welcome back to the Peach Pod After Dark. I am Jeff, and I have this condition. And joining me on the other end of the internet, my host.
I'm Leslie, and okay, so where was I?
Exactly. This week, Cheese Meisters, we are talking about Memento, the 2000 What Part Happened When masterpiece, written by Christopher Nolan and Jonathan Nolan, based on the short story by Jonathan Nolan. Directed by Christopher Nolan, he of Batman stuff, Oppenheimer, Inception, many other things, Tenet. I guess the Odyssey this summer. He's doing that
Hey,
coming
hell
up.
yeah.
Yeah, so this movie stars Guy Pearce as Leonard, not Lenny. His wife used to call him that. He didn't like it. Carrie Ann Moss as Natalie, Joe Pantoliano as Teddy, Mark Boone Jr. as Bert, big old beard Bert, Russ Fega as Walter. I'm not even sure who Walter is, but he was in this thing and it listed as Walter. Maybe that was Dodd. I don't know. It's very confusing.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe, but I don't, he's listed as somebody's listed as Walter in the thing, and I was just writing names down. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. I guess I'm like Leonard in that way. Georgia Fox, fuck autocorrect, Jorja, Georgia Fox. She played Leonard's wife. You may recognize her as Zoe Bartlett's Secret Service agent detail in season 1 of The West Wing. And then after that, she was in the that CSI program.
That's what I know her from. Sarah Seidel, amazing name.
Yep. Yeah, she was on West Wing first. So when CSI happened, I was like, hey, that's Agent whatever her name is.
Yep.
So I know her from those things first. Stephen Tobolowsky as Sammy. Bing!
Oh!
Ned Ryerson, Needle Nose Ned.
I think I know. My brain is
Groundhog
dead.
Day.
Okay. Oh,
Ned.
yes! Oh
Yeah.
my god, that is him!
That is him.
Okay.
Bing!
Yeah.
Dated your sister for a little while until you told me to stop. Bing!
Wow.
And Harriet Sampson Harris as Mrs. Jenks, she of the having diabetes. We are watching this in conjunction with season 5, episode 26, A Song for My Mother, because Val wanted to get a tattoo. And Leslie has got the tattoos like a motherfucker. Okay. What was this the EST of for you?
This could be so many things. I'm going to go with my first thing, which is I think this is the most deceptive film about memory.
Oh, interesting. Why that?
Well, due to editing, we are given a very different story.
Yeah.
Like, because of how it's told, and that's purposeful.
Mhm.
And so I feel like there is a bit of deception in the editing and in the
Okay.
telling of how they discuss memory.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. God, we're doing this backwards, Cheese Meisters. This is probably something I would have understood by the time we got to it if we did it the right order. This is the most backwards movie of all time for me. That's what my EST.
It's also, in case we prove mine wrong, because I could be wrong in the phrasing of it. I don't know anymore.
Yeah, no, it's just, I want to get my head around the idea of them being deceptive about memory.
So maybe it's not so much, I mean, well, memory is a tricky fucker. And I mean, is he not using memory to his own advantage at some point?
Oh, okay. You mean the characters, not the writer.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, with you. I thought you were saying that the filmmakers were being deceptive about memory.
That is
in
a
the way
fair
they told
point,
the story.
and that would be a logical way to perceive that if I wasn't an actor and only focused on the actors the majority of the time.
Totally fair.
But it is absolutely, from the actor perspective overall, this is the most deceptive movie about memory.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. Okay, cool. All right, what else time? Um, is this anyone's defining role?
Guy Pearce?
It might be. Um, have you seen LA Confidential?
No.
We're going to have to watch LA Confidential.
Okay.
That's a good fucking movie. Um, but this or that, I think, is fair
Yeah.
for him. Carrie Ann Moss, no.
No, it's The Matrix.
It's The Matrix. Stephen Tobolowsky, Bing! No, it's definitely not his. Joey Pants, no. I don't think.
I honestly, I have no idea. I only know from the Wikipedia page about this that he was also in The Matrix. I do not remember him in The Matrix.
Oh, okay. But he's also in The Fugitive.
What the fuck did I do? Am I taking too much weed? What?
I don't know. No, probably not.
I'm not.
Not possible.
It is.
Yeah, he's how about bullshit, Sam? Like he's the shorter of the two cops.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? He is one of those, he can blend in probably too well, which is, I mean, that is a
Okay.
good thing. If you're not the lead or supporting, you do need to blend. So he did a really good fucking job in that because I did not remember him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's Joey Pants. So,
But I remember him in
um,
this.
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, for me, he's Cosmo from The Fugitive. Like that. I think that's the thing.
That
I
makes sense.
think of him first about. But he's really good in this. Georgia Fox, we already talked about. And everybody else, maybe, I suppose. Um,
Yeah, I would say this.
um, what else you got?
Um, let's see. I was really fascinated by the who you were versus who you are because I think
Oh,
and even without anterior
I,
grade amnesia, even
oh,
without that,
okay.
we are all constantly evolving. At least
Yeah.
one hopes,
Yeah.
and
Fingers
for the
crossed.
better. We are supposed to evolve. In things, nature evolve, so it stands to reason humans would too. But I think it's just interesting how uh, the discussion inadvertently around who you were versus who you are, because
Because
obviously,
what we really are, if we have truly evolved, is Homo lucens, beings
oh,
of light.
oh,
Don't you remember the teachings of Professor Finley?
oh no, I've blocked that out already.
Yeah, the new evolution. Come on, let's
Listen,
evolve.
sorry, but I'm an extern, so it just,
Oh man, you're a fucking negator.
yeah, I am.
Well, you're not invited to Mima Letting anymore.
Oh, darn.
You
Guess
know
I'll
who's coming
erase.
into your place? Renesmee.
No!
Yep,
I'm
Renesmee.
gonna scratch off Remember Jeff
Remember
and
Jeff.
burn your
That's fair.
photo.
No, that's fair. I'll burn my photo. You only do that after I'm dead. That's not cool.
Oh
Um,
no, I'm sorry.
yeah, that's rude.
Underneath the photos you sent me of your midriff earlier, I'm gonna write, don't trust him.
Yeah, well, that's fair. It's real fair. Yeah, Cheesemeisters, for context, I had a dry cleaner shrink two of my sweaters to the point of ridiculousness. And so I sent Leslie one of the pictures because obviously now I fit in the beach apartment in sophomore year of college. Me and Claire with our midriffs.
And guess who might get two new sweaters?
Yeah, no, you definitely are because Banana Republic fucked me. You get to keep them.
That's
We're,
crazy.
we're
I need
hanging
to
on
know
these.
what they did wrong and why no one read the tag.
They said they did. That's the problem. I don't know. Whatever. It's one of those deals where you go to the dry cleaner and they say it's the clothing manufacturer's fault, and you go to the person who sold it to you and they say the dry cleaner fucked up.
Of course.
So it's nobody's fault, and you know who has to eat it? George Banks. That's who.
May I introduce everyone to the song Your Fault from Into the Woods?
Yeah. Yeah. All right, here's what I have for what else time. We watched this movie yesterday, Memento. Cheesemeisters, what we're talking about this
Yeah.
movie. And knew we were doing this. We were doing it for the tattoos, and we watched it, and it had coincidentally, like Liam saw a thing on TikTok a couple weeks ago, and it was like biggest twists, movies, and it was just like little. It was like 10 things. It's fucking TikTok. Who knows?
Yeah.
And he was like, some of these look cool, and like I'd seen all of them. Like
Ooh.
it. Yeah, and he's right. They are cool, and one of them was Memento. And so, since he had shown a little bit of interest in these twist surprise dealies, I was like, "Come on, let's watch it." So we watched it, and it was cool. And he was like, "I thought that movie was more interesting than enjoyable." Was sort of his takeaway from it.
That's fair.
It's totally fair. I said you should watch it a few more times. I didn't suggest he watch it the way that my brother watched it in college. Um, on repeat and with bong rips, one assumes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, one assumes. I wasn't there. I don't know. But it was the early aughts in college. So probably. Anyway, we finished it. I'm going about it the rest of our day. And sitting on the couch, and I look at my loving wife and I say, "Wife, what do you want to watch on the old television tonight?" And she says, "Let's watch that Daniel Radcliffe thing." And I was like, "The Fall and Rise of Reggie Bruce," or whatever that show's called with Tracy Jordan. Tracy Morgan, Tracy Jordan. Okay,
Wow.
well, I mean,
well,
this character is so Tracy Jordan. I mean, come on. He just played football. And I've seen a couple episodes of this show, and it's awesome. It's really funny. And I can't wait to watch more. But she's like, no, the other one. And she starts Googling it up. And she's like, the Merrily. And I'm like, fuck, Merrily roll along? Yes, let's watch that. I've wanted to watch that. It's been a thing that I wanted to watch. And I know what Merrily we roll. Merrily.
Oh my God, we roll along.
We roll along. The we in there, just like my mouth melted around it. It totally got fucked up.
You can't speak it. You kind of have to sing it in your head.
Yeah. So we're putting it on, and I'm like, oh, yeah, this is a story about this group of friends, and it's told in reverse. And I went, oh, we just watched a movie told in reverse.
Now it's the only way you know how to tell stories.
It's broken my brain a little bit. But so it was interesting to watch these two movies. We finished Merrily We Roll Along this morning because it was late. Okay. Late for me. 10 o'clock.
You have to stay on after and tell me everything.
Oh, I mean,
even if it's bad.
No, I think we should talk about it now a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yay!
It's my what else? Because it's interesting to me that both of these movies they decided to tell them in reverse.
Yes.
And I wonder, I think it's necessary for this movie.
I think it's necessary for Merrily.
Okay, I want to hear about that. But okay. I think if you're gonna tell this story, Memento it needs to be told in reverse so that the audience is as discombobulated as the narrator.
Yes.
Like we have an unreliable narrator, which I love as a storytelling device. And this is a great example of it because this is a dude who, like, you can't trust him because he can't trust him.
Yeah.
And as the story unfolds and he learns more, we learn more. And if you had gone in the right order, the story doesn't work. Yeah. Even though the point of it isn't the plot. The point of it is like all the monologues he has throughout it that are about memory and grief and revenge and healing and all of that stuff. That's what the movie's about. But they have to hang it upside down in order for you to get the real impact of all of the revelations and to feel as disjointed as he feels. Why do you think it's necessary to do Merrily We Roll Along backwards? I'm interested in this. I think it probably is too. I'm wondering because you know it better than I do. I've only seen it the once.
So the short answer is it's a devastating musical, at least to me. It's going to be devastating either way, but one of the key things you need in a musical is to have, not every musical does this, but it is really helpful when musicals end on a hopeful note. When any
Yeah.
story ends on a
Sure.
hopeful note. And so, merrily we roll along. It
Hmm.
starts with Frank at his lowest and his loneliest.
Yeah.
He is alone.
Hmm.
He's at his maybe at his pinnacle of like achievement.
Professional. Yeah.
Yeah, he has achieved all things and yet he is completely alone.
Hmm.
And it's awful to watch him.
Hmm.
But then as you watch this story continue, by the time you get to the end of the show, it's oh god, it continues to be heart-wrenching, at least for me, and I would imagine for other people, because you're just like, why did this happen, even though you know why it happens.
Hmm.
But at least you see them together.
Hmm.
And I really loved how this particular I would imagine this is particular to this revival. I have no idea, but I'm guessing. I like how it ended with we saw them at their youngest, at the beginning of their dreams,
Hmm.
about to take on the world, and it's gorgeous. And then you see them come around and give him a script,
Hmm.
and I took that as try again. Tell this story. You have a
Hmm.
chance to get them back. You have a chance to get this again, to feel these things again.
So you think the last shot of the show is him back in present day?
I do.
I do. Well, present day 1975, because that's
Yeah.
yeah. I do too. I think without that, it needs that in order for it to be a whole story.
Yeah, because I think it's going to be devastating either way, but at least we get that full circle moment,
Hmm.
and and I think that's how you end it on a hopeful note, pun
Yeah.
intended.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't think people want to watch friends go through everything
Disintegrate.
to they don't want to watch that. And then they all achieve success in some way, but now they're apart
Hmm.
and broken.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No, I definitely don't want the show to end on Lindsay Mendez drinking and sad and alone.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, no.
Hmm. Yeah. I agree. I do think it needs to be told backwards, but it's for totally different reasons.
Yes.
Which I think is kind of interesting. Um, what else?
Well, now I just want to talk about Merrily and Sondheim and how I will say I learned this. So I think I told you and maybe even said it on here. Like the first time I watched it, I was just like,
Hmm.
and not just because it's Sondheim and it's beautiful, but my own personal reasons.
Sure.
And so this time around, I was like, I need to watch it, but I also think I need to take care of myself. So I watched it in pieces, and I was able to enjoy it so much more just from like an analytical perspective.
Yeah.
And then I could hear the messages and the lessons that Sondheim is trying to tell us
Hmm.
in the story without being all, woe is me, and I'm not where I thought 16-year-old me would be.
Right.
Well, I'm not where I thought I would be as a 16-year-old.
Right. I mean, but like, I mean, this is it's a cautionary tale, right? Like
Yeah.
they got the things they wanted,
Well, and
and look at how it ended up.
and I feel like Barton Fink is kind of similar in that regard.
Yeah,
Like,
he's trapped by his own success. Uh huh.
so I don't know. I'm gonna listen to them. I'm still gonna want because to be human is to want.
Hmm.
Um, but I've learned something about wanting cheese meisters, and I'm just gonna sit back and wait and
Good.
and live.
Good. Not wanting is a very Buddhist idea.
Well, it's not so much that I don't still want, but I'm just trying not to only go after that because I've gotten things in the last 6 months that I wanted, and I'm like, it's still not enough, and there's not necessarily something wrong with that. That again is human, but like now I want to reevaluate other wants because I'm like, okay, if you're not grateful enough for the things that you got that you so desperately wanted, then like let's maybe focus on that part of you instead of
I mean, I don't know about grateful. Um, but I do know this: uh, the Beatles were the biggest band in the world, and they quit touring because it was making them miserable. And each of them went on a spiritual quest. Like they got what they wanted, and it turned out that wasn't the thing
Yeah.
because it never is. Like
Yeah.
the thing that you're striving for, everyone, when you get that thing, there's going to be a next thing. There's
Yeah.
always is.
Yeah.
And so, like, that doesn't mean don't try to achieve your goals. Just to understand that that goal, when you get it, that's not going to fill the hole in you that you think it's going to fill. It's
Yeah.
just going to be a thing you've accomplished. That hole's still going to be there until you do the work,
Which is
right?
why I'm being more mindful about, like, you know what? There's a reason for the journey. Let's be grateful for the journey. Or again, I don't even want to like force myself into gratitude. But that is
You
just
don't have
the
to go grateful.
easiest, that's the easiest uh, word that I can grab onto to describe what I'm trying to do. I don't
Hmm.
know. Again,
You know what I do?
tell me,
I look at those situations and I ask myself this question: how is this grace?
how is this grace?
Because it
Oh,
is.
okay.
Because all the shit you go through, right? Like, don't sleep through high school. That's the prime suffering time, right?
Yep.
Like all those experiences teach you something. They're lessons. They shape you by their very nature. That is grace.
Mm,
You are gaining something from this experience. You got to go through the shit of it first. But if you can ask yourself while you're in the shit of it, how is this grace? How
yeah.
is this a thing that is going to feed me? Because it is. It
Yeah.
always does. If you can maybe take a step away from it and go, how? While it's happening, you can be a little more observant about it
Yeah.
and less in it.
That's what I want.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because it's still happening, but it's like instead of like focused on this makes me feel bad part, focus on the what am I going to get from it?
Yeah.
Because both those things are there. You can just choose which one to pay attention to.
Like my inner child can keep crying and everything, but I need her to not be drowning me, like
Mm-hmm.
currently. I need her to be like, I'm sorry, honey, you need to go back in your room and deal with this like we used to. I will attend to you later, but we have to keep going.
That's right. I got to tattoo some more shit on myself.
Yeah, right?
Eat it.
P.S. Younger me, we get tattoos now.
Oh, there you go. Real and imagined.
She'd be like, what?
Um, Anything else?
No.
All right. Um, Needle Drop Forest. I don't really have much other than there's a song in here called Something in the Air by David Bowie that I've listened to a few times since watching the movie. It's a pretty good song.
Hmm.
Um,
I mean, it's
David
Bowie.
Bowie, by and large, thumbs up. So that's all I got. Um, would you like to have some adventures in intimacy
Of course.
before talking about the movie? Because we're going backwards because it's Memento. Did you get it?
We're doing this better than I thought we would.
Yeah, I
Um,
figured it out.
all right, adventures in intimacy. There's definitely intimacy in this. I would say there's more. I'm gonna call this. This is gonna sound like masturbation, but that's not how I mean it. I'm gonna say personal intimacy because there are. Guy Pearce has to be in a state of undress
Mm-hmm.
quite frequently to show off the tattoos. It
Mm-hmm.
is a plot device.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I'm Guy Pearce or any actor that has to do that, I'm going to be like, okay, so what are we showing? Where are
Mm-hmm.
these tattoos? Okay, like, can I get this? I mean, he's not like, maybe they ask him then what kind of underwear are we wearing in this scene? You
Mm-hmm.
know, what's most comfortable for you? And then also, like, storytelling wise, okay, how high up on his thigh is he tattooing? You know, like,
Right.
the kind of underwear he wears is not like it's not short, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a little longer and it's like not fitted. So again, he has privacy as,
Mm-hmm.
you know, someone in a state of undress who is a man. Um, but yeah, so that's something to think of. He also, we see him, at least from like, it's like a back profile
Mm-hmm.
nudity shot. You
Oh yeah,
know, we see his butt, but it's like he's coming from, I think, the shower,
yeah.
and or it's right after the fight. I can't remember, and it's brief.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, I don't know if they just I don't know why anyone does that. Like I don't have a problem with it necessarily, but I just wonder now, like, why do we put in these butt shots? Is this to draw people in? Is this to be a shock thing? Is this a memory thing, at least in his case?
Mm.
And he has a fight. Like it's kind of a
Yeah.
Deadpool moment in like, you know, one person is naked and the other person is clothed.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, the way they shoot it, Guy Pearce totally could have had shorts on during that
Yeah.
moment, and probably did.
I feel like the answer to this is no. But have you ever seen Eastern Promises?
I have not.
Vigo Mortensen
Oh,
is in it, and there is a an incredibly brutal hand to hand combat between two fully naked dudes in a like a Turkish bath,
oh wow.
and there is, I mean, dong everywhere in this thing, and fighting dong like this. I mean, this fight is crazy because you're just like, how did you not? Ow! Everything all the time. It's a yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, that is rough to imagine on so many levels, just from behind the scenes alone.
Mm-hmm. It is full dongage. It's like nunchucks. I mean,
And in,
it's
like
everywhere.
in that scenario, when I mean, they're fighting, so they could have had something else on as some kind of protection to look phallic like. But as we've discussed or as we discussed in the Hateful Eight, go listen to the Hateful Eight. Um, they
Dingus.
they tend to use fake phalli for any time when it's going to be in use. So like
Right.
erect or peeing.
Right. And in this, it's not. It's just flopping around while they get thrown across the room and shit.
Yeah, and
It's
like
rough.
I'd be really worried as an actor about my bits.
Uh huh. Yeah. It's a lot. I mean,
There
it's a good movie, but oh boy, that scene. Yeah.
but back to this movie.
Yes.
Um, this is another one of those where editing is so key to
Mm-hmm.
how we view this. Since we're going backwards, and I've been thinking about this, and it might be true for if we went forwards as well. It would be stranger though. Um, when we see him and Carrie Ann Moss wake up next to each
Mm-hmm.
other, obviously it looks away. They are both dressed, and for
Mm-hmm.
once I was like, hey, this makes sense, and it's supposed to. How
Right.
they're dressed, how they're still like more or less fully clothed. Like they
Mm-hmm.
fell asleep in the things that they wore, maybe like him minus a shirt, her, in
Right.
one less article. But what struck me as strange, no matter what direction you're watching this from, is how she turns to him and like gives this very familiar like graze along his chest.
Uh huh.
And I wonder if that is she yearning. I don't know. I don't think she's yearning for him necessarily, but from going from a backwards perspective, it looks like she's yearning for him.
Uh huh.
If you go from it forward and knowing what she's done, it
Mm-hmm.
seems more like she just is looking for connection, or like, oh, you're not who I normally wake up next to.
Right.
But she plays it off very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then in what is supposed to be the scene before that, she's like laying on his legs as he's talking about his wife or something from his past. She's
Mm-hmm.
curled up into him and he's facing out, like just letting her, not in a cold manner, but just distant.
Yeah.
So she's oddly connected to him for also having been part of the deception.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you
Yeah.
have?
No, I was just thinking. like this whole movie, you're just trying to recontextualize everything backwards.
Yeah.
You know, like what did she really mean when we saw that? Because we didn't know the thing that she knew when it happened. You know, like we didn't know what was going on in that scene. We thought it was one thing, but it was totally not that thing. So I was like rolling it all backwards in my head, trying to like put it together, and looking at my notes because I had a lot of those. But
And I think
yeah, I.
in the case of these moments of their closeness,
Mhm.
I think it is I think it's to throw us off the scent a little bit and to make it a bit more
It's
shocking when we do find out that she has lied to him.
it is, but it also makes sense going forwards narratively because she knows he has this thing and she's trying to
Yeah.
convince him of something.
Yeah.
She's presenting a story
Yeah.
the same way that he's presenting a story to himself when he hires the prostitute to scatter the his wife's belongings around the house, around the thing.
Yeah.
Like, and
Which
the way that as it turns out he's telling himself a story this whole time.
yeah.
Yeah. Um
I I
Go
definitely
ahead.
had the thought you mentioned the prostitute and I had the thought
Mm.
of like as I was watching that I went I wonder if it's weirder for sex workers when people don't want to do something sexual.
I bet they've seen it all.
I mean, that's what I would think, but I don't know. It's like you're brought in for what? It's kind of like when people come into the dispensary and then want me to therapize them, and I'm like, that's not what I
Right.
am.
I sell you. I sell you to hooch.
It's
Um,
like I'm gonna have to charge you $50 more.
that's right. The doctor is way in.
I should put that on my tip
Nichols,
jar.
Nichols, Nichols.
Nichols, Nichols.
Um,
That's how it sounds sometimes.
I know. I get it. Anything else for intimacy?
Um. Oh, I forgot too. Natalie, Carrie Ann Moss's character, they have an eyes open kiss.
Hmm.
And I thought that was so interesting. And I
Yeah.
feel like that shows how little they trust each other.
They both had eyes open.
They both had eyes open,
Yeah, that's. I didn't notice that, but that makes a ton of sense.
which on the one hand, he's not interested in
No, he doesn't
anyone.
trust that the world's still going to be there when he opens his eyes. Like he says
Fair.
that a number of times. Like he's freaked out. Like you close your eyes, you don't know what's gonna. Like he might come to kissing her, and not even know who she is.
Okay, that's fair. Um, that's more truth. That's more of the truth, I think, than mine of him not being interested. But they can be this. They can
Yeah,
both
yeah.
be a play in it. Um, so that was interesting. Them both having their eyes open. And then obviously there's some intimacy between like the older couple, which there's this very sweet like after he's given her insulin, he like
Mm-hmm.
kisses her on the shoulder and rubs it like, I'm sorry I had to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And similarly with like the memory trick of her his wife saying ouch and like him sticking her and then another time it's just a playful pinch
Mm-hmm.
of her flesh.
Right.
So we don't see honestly a lot of the intimacy in this, at least the intimacy choreography, is in the editing.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you mentioned that because this movie was nominated for 2 Academy Awards. Did not win. Um, it was nominated for Best Writing for Christopher and Jonathan Nolan and Best Film Editing for Dodie Dorn. The writing award went to Julian Fellows that year for Gosford Park, and editing went to Pietro Scalia for Black Hawk Down.
Okay, granted, I have not seen Black Hawk Down, but I'm fairly certain this is some of the best editing
Uh
out
huh.
there, movie
Yeah.
wise.
Black Hawk Down's pretty good. I think this movie falls apart if the editing doesn't work. Uh,
Yeah,
it's a Nolan movie. He plays around with time and he
and
uses
he's good
edit.
at it.
He's really good at it. This movie, Cheesemeisters, has a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes and 94% on the Popometer. So I actually kind of thought that it might have a lower audience rating
Oh,
because just because a lot of people could watch this and go, I don't fucking get it, you know,
hi.
right? And then just be like, well, that was stupid. I don't like it.
Yep.
Um, and not and more critics would watch this and go, oh, the craftsmanship here is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like the storytelling, the use, like the structure, the writing, the flashbacks, the editing, the black and white, the color, all of it. I could see critics eating it up with a spoon, and a larger percentage of the audience being slightly baffled.
Yeah.
But as it turns out, lots of high motherfuckers in the year 2000, and they were like, "This movie's great."
They knew what was coming. They said, let's
Yeah,
get high.
yeah, stay there. Um, all right, so what happens in this movie is it is the story of Leonard, who's Guy Pearce, and he has this condition where he can't remember stuff. He can remember everything that happened before the memory loss happened, which was when his wife was killed and he was conked on the noggin. Um, but he's out for revenge. He's trying to find the guy who did this to his wife and to him. And he writes notes on Polaroids about people, and he tattoos his body with big information, just like Leslie's got going on there. Um, and all of those things are a structure he's using to help him navigate the world and find this person who did this. And he's got this guy Teddy who's helping him out. Um, and spoilers, the movie's told in reverse. So
Well, mostly there
mostly,
it's so here's another musical for you. It does a thing that the last 5 years does, which you have one half of the relationship going from the end of it to the beginning, and then you
mm,
have the other half going from the beginning to the end, and they meet in the middle for this one beautiful moment, and that's done.
yeah. Although that is like that never quite happens here. Like
No, you don't get a
it
meet in the middle.
what you get is a moment where the black and white stuff becomes color,
Uh-huh.
and it's there's that part of it. So there's all these things that are happening, and it's going in this order, and interspersed are these black and white scenes with him explaining something to someone on the phone, and then he eventually meets up with that person, and you find out that it was Teddy, who we've known from the other things in the movie. And at a certain point in the thing they go and do, when he changes clothes, it goes to color, which I think is a
Mhm.
really interesting
Yeah.
moment that they do that. Um, but here's what I did. I'm going to tell you what happened in this movie, Cheese Meisters, in the order that it happened,
Ooh.
not the order that we watched it. Okay, and again, it's probably a bad movie if you do this. Okay, it probably is. But let's see. Let's see if this is fucking coherent at all. Because I'm writing notes backwards. You
Oh
know?
dear.
Yeah. So let's see. Okay. So the first thing that happens is that he and his wife are attacked, and his wife dies or possibly doesn't die, and that's where his memory thing happens. Teddy is the cop who's assigned to the case, and and Lenny couldn't get anyone else to believe him, if we are to believe the black and white scenes.
Yes.
Not sure we are. But he could not get anyone to believe him, but he wanted vengeance, and Teddy helped him out. Teddy helped him hunt down and find this Jimmy G, this John G, this James G, who killed his wife. And they did that shit. And then Lenny forgot. And he took information out of the file he has, in
Mm-hmm.
order to create a constant puzzle that he would have to solve, we think. And Teddy, who is a John G, that's his real name, we don't know that yet, but he starts using Lenny to kill other John G's, Jimmy G's. And Teddy has been trying to set up something with this drug dealer named Jimmy G. Teddy wants to steal the drugs and the money, and he tells Lenny that this is the guy. He's your Jimmy G. Teddy sends Lenny to meet this guy, a drug dealer, and Lenny kills him and takes his clothes. And at that moment, it goes from black and white to color. He's got the body and he takes a picture of it because he wants to remember that he did this. He got the guy. He got him. He got his Jimmy G. He takes the picture. He wants it. And then Teddy shows back up. And Lenny brains him with the gun because he doesn't know who he is. But Lenny knows that this Jimmy G isn't the guy. He figures it out when they're like fighting. And so he knows that Teddy is lying to him when he shows up and says and tells him all this information. And this is where Teddy says a bunch of stuff that I don't know if it's true or not.
Yes.
Because what Leonard has been telling the black and white cop, which is Teddy, on the phone, he's been telling them the story about Sammy, is the name he has written on his hand, who is a case that he worked when he was an insurance adjuster, a guy who had a similar memory situation. And this Sammy guy ended up, his wife was just broken by the whole thing, and she was diabetic, and he gave her her shot. He gave her her insulin shots, and she had him give her an overdose.
Yeah.
As like he's got to know he just did this. Like he surely something will kick in and will stop him from doing this. And that's this cautionary tale that Leonard has been telling this whole movie in black and white. And Teddy says, son, your wife didn't die. You both survived. And you're the one who gave the insulin to her and killed her. That was you. You've been lying to yourself this whole time.
Yeah.
You've been telling yourself this false story in order to, like we all do. You know, we all tell ourselves tales about ourselves in order to get through life. This is just what you're doing. And sure, I've been using you to murder random JGs out there. Whatever. Get over it, bitch. Sort of Teddy's point of view. And, but Leonard is like, man, I don't know. I don't like this. I don't feel good about it. And Teddy's like, look, I'm a John G. That's my name. There's lots of them out there. We can just go killing motherfuckers.
Bad idea, John.
It's a bad idea because Leonard's brain is still working. And knowing that he's being used by Teddy, he writes a note to not trust this guy.
Yeah.
And then he writes another note that says, John G's license plate number is Teddy's license plate number.
Yeah.
And then he goes and he burns the picture that he took of Jimmy G. And then he stops and gets that tattoo put on. And then Teddy shows up again, right as he's leaving the tattoo parlor. And he tells Lenny that, hey, there's this crooked cop who's been calling you on the phone, which has been him the whole time. And he tells him that he's a snitch. I'm a snitch for that cop, so you can believe me. But he looks at the back of the picture and says, don't trust this guy, so he doesn't trust him.
Yep.
And he sees this burnt picture in his pocket. He's like, what the fuck is this picture? I don't even know what this is. So he goes to see Natalie because the other thing that's in his pocket is a coaster that says, come see me after. And he thinks it's a note for him, but it was really a note for Jimmy, whose clothes he's wearing, written by Natalie.
That. Oh, I missed that little bit.
Yeah, that's why it was helpful for me to write it in this order.
Yes.
She's like, what? What happened? And he pulls up and he stole the money, the drugs, Jimmy's car and his Jimmy's clothes and his Jaguar. And when he
Yeah.
pulls up, Natalie's like, Jimmy,
Uh,
oh, oh fuck, because she knew that Jimmy was gonna go meet Teddy and some guy with a memory problem. So he goes inside the bar, and she decides to test him out by having everybody spit in the cup, including him, and gives it to him to drink. And he drinks it, and she's like, "Oh fuck, um, you are that memory guy. I heard about that. My boyfriend Jimmy was going to go meet. Do you know a guy named Teddy? Because my boyfriend Jimmy was going to go meet him, and Jimmy told me about a memory guy, so that must be you." But she's like, "Something's fucked up here because you're here wearing Jimmy's clothes and driving Jimmy's car, and Jimmy's not here." And she believes him that he doesn't know what just happened, but she knows that he just killed Jimmy and that Teddy was involved. So she brings him home and says, "You can stay here with me. You can rest a little while." And he tells her all about the attack on his wife, and she tells him he can stay, and she leaves. And she comes back in and takes all the pens.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah, when she storms in, she takes all the pens so that he can't write any notes down.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. And they get in this big fight, and she tells him that she's going to use him to get back at Teddy. And who fucking cares? You can't remember it anyway.
Yeah.
And your wife was a whore. And she goads him into punching her.
Yeah.
And she leaves, so his memory resets, and she comes back in and she says Dodd did it. And sends him looking for Dodd. But Dodd is looking for him. Because I think she called and told Dodd. But he goes out to the car. And Teddy's in it. Because Teddy just fucking keeps showing up. And Lenny goes to tell Dodd then about Teddy. Because he's like, don't trust Teddy.
Yeah.
Right? Teddy's full of shit. I wrote this note down. So I'm going to go tell Dodd that this guy's after him. But Dodd is looking for him, and he sees the Jaguar, and he's like, "Hey, wait a minute." Sorry, I skipped a thing. So Teddy tells him to go stay at the Discount Motel, which is where we know that he's staying now. And Teddy tells him not to trust Natalie.
Yes.
But he already doesn't trust Teddy.
Yeah.
Because he wrote the note. So he didn't believe him. Even though Natalie is using him. He shouldn't trust Natalie.
No.
But it doesn't matter whether he trusts Natalie. Because he's decided to fuck Teddy.
Yeah.
And so Natalie is using him to get to Teddy, but he's using Natalie to let him get to Teddy.
Yeah.
So they're layering all this crazy shit all over the top of itself, which is why it gets confusing, and there's black and whites and whatever. But Teddy keeps trying to get him to leave town. Because they got the drugs and they got the money, and he's driving around in Jimmy's car, and people are going to want to kill him. Mm. And they'll start asking, like, "Hey, what happened to Jimmy? What happened? You're driving his car and you had his clothes. What happened? Even you're wearing your shoes. You're wearing the shoes. That's a lot, man. We don't buy it." And so then Leonard takes a little break and hires a prostitute to come over and scatter his wife's stuff around the room so that he can trick himself into thinking that these things belong to the prostitute, and so he can burn them. At that part, I don't 100% understand what he's up to there.
I'm not sure either. I think he's just looking for comfort. He's trying to mess with his own memory so that he can briefly wake up and feel like she's still there.
Yeah, but then he takes her shit and burns it.
Yeah.
And he's done that before.
I think he realized that it wasn't working.
But because he remembers what it is anyway. Like he has a memory about the book and the teddy bear, I think.
Yeah.
So like it's whatever this is, it's not working, but he's done it before, so he keeps trying it. So I don't 100% get that, but he takes his break to hire a prostitute, which who am I to judge?
Right.
You know, you got an extra 24 minutes, hire a prostitute, whatever. What else are you doing? You're bored. It's fine. Um,
Probably better than doom scrolling.
Probably. But after he burns his wife's stuff, he's driving around looking for Dodd, and Dodd tries to kill him because of the Jag. And so he's running from Dodd and chasing Dodd, but he's like got a note about Dodd. I got to get this Dodd guy because he punched
Yeah.
Natalie in the face, and I've either got to um, give Dodd to Teddy or Teddy to Dodd, or I got to just kill Dodd for Natalie.
Yeah.
And he's like, he gets everything gets all screwy, but he's got the address, so he goes to the hotel. He knocks out the kid in room 9. Oops. Because Dodd was in room 6, and he goes in room 6, but he forgets why he's there, so he takes a shower, as one does. And while he's in the shower, Dodd shows up. They get a big old fight. He puts tape on his mouth, shoves him in a closet, and calls Teddy for help.
Yep.
And Teddy shows up, and they let Dodd go. I don't know that we saw him do this. Oh, no. Then he goes back to Natalie.
Yes.
And she's like all busted up. And she's like, you did something for me. I can do something for you. You took care of this Dodd fella. And so he gives her Teddy's license plate number and says that he needs to find this guy.
Yeah.
So she does that, and or he gives it to her, and she gives him Teddy's info as John G, and he goes and kills Teddy. That's what happens in this movie. And in order.
Not near as exciting when it's in order.
No, it's not. It's so much better if you're trying to figure out what the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when you're trying to figure out what's going on, this movie is so much fun.
Well, and it forces you to reconnect with your own memory in a way that maybe you haven't in a while, because we don't often, outside of a doctor's office, how often are we getting tested on our memory?
Right. Yeah. And it's like, and it does a cool thing where, like, it will start a scene and end it, and then the next scene will start and it'll end where this scene started.
Yeah, I like that.
So you see the pieces, and then the next scene ends where the scene above it started. Yeah. So you're like, the things are happening. Each scene is happening in the order that stuff happened, but it's happening after the stuff that happened just before, or before the stuff that happened just before it.
Yeah.
And you just go, and then you do a bong rip and watch it again and try to figure out what the hell happened.
The first time I watched this, I was completely lost.
Mm-hmm.
This time around, it was such a weird, it gave me this weird escapist feeling. I was like, oh, I'm so grateful to just be watching a movie and seeing some dope art happen in front of me. Mm-hmm. Like, I enjoyed it so much more. I liked trying to piece it together, or just hold on to things as like, oh, wait, no, it's this. Oh, that looked this way. Now I'm seeing it this way.
Yeah. And the other thing that I find so interesting about the way it's put together is that in between those scenes, you have these black and white interludes that are happening that are telling you a different story. They're telling you the Sammy story. And you're not sure how they fit, and they break it up between those scenes. So you get like a little bit discombobulated. And then some of the scenes are like, it starts one way and it ends and some shit happens. But in the middle, there's like 3 long monologues about the nature of grief.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's just like like there's a whole conversation at the diner counter, and then there's the one in the bed, and every time he and Teddy are talking, like there's just the movie isn't about all of those things that I just told you what happened.
Yeah.
You know, it's about all of those monologues.
Yeah.
It's about all of the stuff, the grieving and the like, how can I heal if I can't experience time? And, you know, like I can't even, I'm not even allowed to forget you. You know,
Yeah.
like how can I move on? I can't. And it's an interesting treatise on that stuff. And it's hung on the funkiest Christmas tree you've ever seen. You
Yes.
know? And that's what makes that's I think why it works. That's why I think this movie has to be told backwards.
Yeah.
You know, not like Merrily We Roll Along, which has to be told backwards in order not to make you kill yourself. Like
Yeah.
this one, it only the story is only compelling if it's all mixed up like that.
Well, and you know, the more I watch these things or any story told in a nonlinear fashion,
Mm-hmm.
the more I feel like artists are trying to really hone in on like healing is not linear,
Yeah.
success is not linear.
Uh huh.
All of these things that like I feel are becoming we're all becoming more aware of, at least I hope we are, but then again, my algorithm has more self-help stuff than yours might. What
Mine has a
will
lot
you?
of Tai Chi walking for people who just turned 50. Get a lot of that.
All right.
Real weird.
No otters or dogs on your end? That's sad.
No, I don't get otters and dogs. I get Tai Chi walking and boner pills. Lots and lots of boner pills. It's 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 age driven.
Wow.
Just saying.
And I can't wait for mine to be like, are you dry as hell? Jesus.
Just tumbleweed
No.
going across
I'm
desert.
No, it's gonna stay otters who are always moist. What?
Yeah. Sometimes I get panda bears. Like
Oh, that's
the
fun.
panda videos where they're just falling over and shit. Those are the greatest. Like, give me more panda videos. Here's what I want more of, algorithm. Pandas falling over, and that guy who cleans up the yard and does the edging along and cuts the grass. I want that. I want more of that. Just that stuff is oddly satisfying.
I realized the other day that the algorithm for the Peach Pod was looking, I don't know, too similar to stuff that was for me, and I'm like, oh no, we don't want that. No, 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 no. Let's fix this. So like started looking up more 90s TV shows and things and like making sure to click on otters.
More otters. Yeah.
Because doing social media for anything outside of me, really, like not promoting me as an actor or an IC, so much healthier for me.
Mm.
Like, I
Because of the
mean,
Tai Chi walking, one assumes.
you know what? I'm gonna look that up because that would also be hilarious to just be like, oh, promoting the Peach Pod, also Tai Chi, great.
That's right. It's perfect for people over 60. The
I
gym will
feel like
tear you apart.
it's perfect for anyone at any age. Shut up.
I'm just telling you what these things are telling me.
No, I'm telling them to shut up, not you.
No, I'm just letting you know.
I know.
But yeah, I think that it is like I don't know if it has anything super like that's the other thing about movies like this. They when you do something chopped up and out of order and where you're playing with the form and you are making you're doing interesting visual things and storytelling things to deliver the story. Like I think it like doing that kind of stuff can put the patina of depth on the story that may not be there otherwise. You know, like it may make movies seem more impressive because they're structurally interesting
Yeah.
than the story itself is, or that the writing or the message behind it, or and I'm not saying this movie is uninteresting in those ways, but I think maybe we go, that's pretty deep, because we had to work real hard to figure out what the fuck was going on. And it maybe it isn't that deep. Maybe it's this deep, just out of order.
I think it's another way to throw off the audience because I mean, I don't know if this is I feel like this is more than ever, but I feel like just each generation of moviegoers is trying to like figure out the who did it sooner than anyone else, you know?
Yeah, sure.
Each generation is trying to prove it's smarter only when it comes to film.
Right. Solve the twist.
Yeah, solve it for something that does not matter ultimately. And the editing of this is so important that it throws us off it throws us off the trail really because at least for me, I'm watching the whole time thinking, yes, absolutely don't trust Teddy. The picture says so. And then I see the confrontation and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh no. I don't think like Teddy's not a great guy, but
Right.
he's not the John G. Not in my
No.
opinion.
No. They got that guy already.
Yeah,
Um.
I took a
So,
photo. I loved you. You were so happy.
and then there's the photo of him where it says "I did it" on his chest, and
Is
his
that what
wife.
he's pointing to?
Well, he's pointing to the blank spot
Yeah.
in right, but there's a shot at the very end of his wife alive with her head on his shoulder, and that space is filled with a tattoo that says "I did it."
Fuck, I missed that.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's a real thing that he then had removed. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I don't get
Well,
that. I don't get that image.
I know there are some shots in this that are really quick in that they'll show it one way and then they show it another to show how fragile memory is.
Yeah. Yeah. And he points it out like in the diner conversation. He's talking about how flawed memory is. So he's defending his system of notes.
Yes.
Which like we know at this point his system of notes is a lie. He's using the notes to manipulate himself.
Yes.
And like that's super interesting as a conceit. But he's like, ask any cop. Like, your memory can change the shape of a room. It can change. Like, there's a wonderful Decemberist lyric in the song called "July, July," where he
Mm.
says, "We'll remember this when we are old and ancient, though the specifics may be vague. I'll say your camisole was a sprightly light magenta when in fact it was a nappy bluish gray."
Oh wow.
Love that lyric. It's like, um, so the Decemberists know,
They
like you
do.
can't 100% rely on your memory, and we all use our memories to bolster ourselves.
Yes.
Sometimes we use them to like bury ourselves under the weight of our own stupid feelings. Like, oh, I did so bad there. Did a say I was embarrassed me.
Stop reading my diary, Jeff.
I'm reading my own shit. Um, like, and you're like that thing that you did that thing I did that was the most embarrassing moment of my life. No one who was there remembered that it happened.
It
You know?
is astonishing. I've been thinking a lot lately about how much I desperately need to turn off the switch that is everyone is judging you and you should care.
Oh, no one pays any attention to
I know.
you. Hmm.
But to quote Taylor Swift, but what if they did?
Okay, here's to quote that book: "Let them." You know what I mean? Like it's none of your business. That's the biggest thing.
I know,
It's
but
fucking none of your business what other people think of you.
when when you are raised to care only what people think, it is a
Hmm.
very I feel like I am having to undo a doctor's needlework on my body.
Sure.
Which not
Do
that
it.
that's a horrible comparison. Um
Because your arm will fall off. It's like in a Nightmare Before Christmas, where she
I know.
ends up
I was
just
thinking
stitching
like, oh, now I'm Sally.
yeah, and she escapes. That's what you are.
I'm not mad about it.
No, you shouldn't be. It's good. Um, the other thing that I think this movie talks about, that like there's a lot of talk about healing and vengeance and greed and all that kind of stuff, but it's so much about opportunity.
Yeah.
Like Bert charges him for 2 rooms because he can.
Yeah.
You know, and Teddy is using him to get rid of other Johnny G's, and Lenny is using Natalie to get to Teddy, and Natalie is using Lenny to get to Teddy. Everybody's just they're taking the opportunity where it presents itself, and like she comes in, she takes all the pens out because she's seizing this moment.
Yeah.
Like she knows the only way she can pull this off is if he can't write a note in time before he forgets it. So she has a lot of pens in that house, by the way. Like she must take 50 pens. Yeah, no, I get it. Hers are everywhere. Do you have at least one pen? Here you go. Here's some weird shit. Do you have at least one pen, Cheesemeisters, that has a really good end on it that you can use to get that earwax?
That's not. Why are you using things to get your earwax? Just use your Coke nail.
Because I don't have long fingernails. This is the right if you're gentle. It's super sad, and it's
Did
not.
Did you learn nothing from Pop? Why don't you use a key?
Yeah, because keys are too big. This is the right size. The car key thing is weird. The pen thing is just smart thinking. And Q-tips are bad. Q-tips just jam it in there.
Yeah, I just use my Coke nail.
No, you gotta get it.
It's not getting used for anything else, so
no, it's not effective for that. It's not nearly as good as the pen cap. That's why I've got that one.
Yeah, well, I can't say I will. I'll probably forget before I can try it. And I will be
write it down on your flesh.
Okay.
Pen cap earwax.
You know what's really sad? My pens don't draw on me. Why don't adult pens write on you like gel pens used to? My God.
I think we did. I think that once again we have proven my theory that everything comes back to Aaron Spelling.
Even Memento.
All right. So join us here next week, Cheesemeisters, when we watch season 5, episode 27. Squash It. Bloody Roo! Bloody
No!
Roo!
Fuck those guys. Fuck whoever wrote them, and fuck those guys. I'm pissed. I'm not even hiding who's the worst.
I can't wait to talk about it. And then join us here on Friday, Cheesemeisters, when I don't know what we're going to watch yet. We haven't discussed it. We'll find out once we talk about Squash It. I don't know. Whatever it is going to be awesome. It could be about the youth, and it could be about Australian death metal or Willie. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be about. It's going to be about something that's going to be awesome. So until then, Cheesemeisters.
Cheers, if you remember.
Peace out.